I'm doing my 3-month breastfeeding update. First, I am so excited that I have made it to my original 3-month goal. Before the baby was ever born, I had said that I wanted to make it past the first 2 weeks at least, then 3 months, and we would reevaluate and see how things are going, then again at 6 months, and then kind of decide from there. If you feel like you want to give up in those first 2 weeks, I completely understand. I did not think that I was going to make it past those 2 weeks either. And I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I just don't want to do this anymore. It hurts so bad, but I'm really glad I did. And again, this is nothing against, if you formula feed, that is completely up to you. So this is just my journey and my journey with breastfeeding. I am still feeding on demand. So whenever I can just tell, I can just sense that he's hungry, and I'm not really looking at the clock. I don't write anything down anymore. I don't, oh, it's been 2 hours, it's been 3 hours. I can just kind of tell now that it's about that time, because also, it changes so much. Some days he, does wait the full 3 hours, and then others I'm like, gosh, you just ate, but I can tell that that he's hungry and that he wants to just be put to boob. So I try to just follow my instincts and my intuition with that. Josh. Thought I heard Josh bringing the baby up here to feed. Speaking of, he is still eating 3 to 4 times a night. So he is still waking up about that many times to eat, which is, it's hard. It's hard, but at the same time, I'm trying to constantly remind myself that this won't be forever. I try to remind myself that when I'm getting really impatient, and it's hard, but it's what I want to do. So I try to just think of that when it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, no, I feel like I just fell back asleep. I am not really pumping at all. I was given this one. It is the Simply Go even flow, I think, or something. It's just one. So and then I only have one bottle, so I can only do one at a time. But I haven't really been pumping anyway because I'm with him all the time, and pumping is such a chore and it can be so boring. And since I'm not working and stuff, I don't really need, there's no urgency to build up a stash or anything like that. The only time that I really need extra is whenever we leave him somewhere. So I have been supplementing with formula for that reason. I have been just sending him with formula because he drinks maybe a bottle. So he gets maybe 4 formula bottles a month, if that, because when we do drop him off, it's not even like it's for the whole day. It's just for a date night to go to the movies or something. And then that's not every day, every weekend or nothing. But now that my insurance, I do have TRICARE, it is covering pumps. I need to just get one already. Gosh, what's stopping me, right? The weird thing is that when I first started pumping, that first week when I was trying to get my milk to come in, so I was pumping at the same time that I was feeding because I wasn't producing any milk and I was in tears. So the first time that I tried to pump, I got maybe 2 ounces, maybe. Like I said, I kind of just stopped pumping altogether because I didn't really need it. So then as we have started to leave him places, I'm like, well, let me start trying to pump again. And I was like, I'm sure by now I'm probably going to get, 4 ounces out of each boob, like nothing. And it'll go by so fast because, I know he's growing, so I know I'm making enough milk. Nope, I tried to pump still with using this same pump, and the left one is the trooper and the right one is just lagging. And even then, this left one still is only giving me 2 ounces at the most barely. And then this one, when I'll do it, it'll make it to 2.5 total. So this one's barely giving me half an ounce, if that. So it's really frustrating. I'm like, what is going on? And it, again, it might just be the pump. I'm not sure. I saw one time on I think La Leche League Facebook page, someone had posted, you know, that what you're pumping doesn't equal what your body's making, which I am so glad I saw that, because to me, I'm thinking like, man, I'm not pumping enough, so that means the baby's barely getting anything. But no, babies are so much more efficient at getting the milk out, and obviously he's growing every single time. He's gaining weight and he's growing in length and he's moving right along in his development, so he is getting enough food. And so that made me feel so much better, because if I was just going by what the pump was saying, which is maybe 2.5 ounces barely, after I'm sitting there for like 45 minutes, like I would be just beating myself up and like wondering what's going on. So and because, like I said, I'm not going back to work, I'm not in a huge stressed out mode to build up a stash. So for moms that are going back to work, I could totally see how this would be very frustrating and like, oh my gosh, because you do have to build up a stash. I mean, that's probably the biggest things to talk about with this goal of breastfeeding. I cannot believe how much I'm really enjoying breastfeeding. I know that sounds crazy, because it's like, oh, you're a mom, like you should love to breastfeed. No, like I was really hesitant, and I talked about it a little bit in my pregnancy updates. Like first I was like, is it gonna hurt? I mean, and I was like, am I too selfish to breastfeed? Because I mean, I don't know if I want to feel like a cow, like feel like, oh, I have to be the one feeding all the time, and I don't know if I want to do that. Like, do I want to be the only person that can feed him? Sometimes when you feed, you have to, you know, go away. Like most of the time I don't. I sit there and feed it like at a restaurant or something. But I don't know, sometimes like if the family's down there and it's just loud, sometimes you have to remove yourself from that situation. So sometimes it can be kind of lonely breastfeeding all by yourself, and then in the middle of the night, you know, you do have to wake up while your husband gets to sleep, and you just get to stare at him and you're like, must be nice. So that's why I set these small goals for myself, because I was like, and then if I get to that goal and I'm just hating it and it's really ruining the way I'm feeling towards my baby, because it's stressing me out too much, then I will really think about it and move to formula if that's what I have to do to keep my sanity. But so far, I'm like really surprised that I enjoyed as much as I do. The only thing is that I still have to, my wardrobe is still dictated by the fact that I'm breastfeeding, because anytime we go out anywhere, I'm like, can I feed in this? Can my boob pop out easily? Or I can't wear that because it doesn't have easy boob access. Things I never thought I would say before I was a mom. If you're really wanting to breastfeed, I encourage you to set small goals for yourself. Really focus on getting past those first 2 weeks, because that is going to be the most challenging, painful thing, almost all the way up to a month. Like those first 2 weeks really, but then through that first month as well, because you're just still adjusting to someone needing you so much all the time. There you go. That is my 3-month breastfeeding update. So I will check in again at the 6-month mark, because by that time he will be able to eat solids. So we're going to start introducing those as soon as our doctor lets us know and kind of guides us on how to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this was a little helpful. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, or at least hit the thumbs up button. Just helps us out. And I look forward to seeing y'all again. And that's it. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.